Hi guys, if you've been watching my videos recently you might have seen me unbox my Oppo N1 that I got last week, which is a 5.9 inch screen, which is pretty huge basically, especially compared to the Nexus 5, the Galaxy S4. I've not used a screen of that size since the original Galaxy Note, which I didn't really get on with. It was just too big. A lovely device, but you know, it really meant two-handed operation, and I just wasn't ready for that, I suppose, in some ways. I've given it a go again with the M1 and actually found that I quite like having a huge big screen. So I thought I'd take a look at the Galaxy Note 3. Now this one's been sent to me very nicely by clove.co.uk. There'll be a link down below where you can get one. The Note 3 is one of those sort of devices that you see so many people, they swear by it. They say it's the best phone available, the best device you can get. But I think it's going to be a kind of the Marmite type scenario where you can either deal with the size or it's just too big. The specs of the Note 3 all look fantastic. So it's a 2.3 GHz quad-core Snapdragon 800. It's got the Adreno 330, I believe. It's got 3,200 mAh battery, 3 gig of RAM. It's even got a stylus, which I'm curious to see how it works. You know, how that fits in with the whole device. So initially, we'll do an unboxing. I'm going to do some comparisons with the N1. Not in this video, in a different video. I'll do some camera tests and then I'll get a review done. But right now we're just going to have a look through the box and what's inside, and just some initial first thoughts on the Note 3. Okay, so one of the first things I noticed, it's not actually that massive a box. The Oppo came in a huge big thing, and that's a fairly reasonable, you know, if that was covered up you could be mistaken that it was a Galaxy S4, for example. Also, you might notice it has already been opened. This is a review unit that I've got from clove.co.uk, which I'm very grateful for, because I missed the Note 3 really when it came out. I didn't get the opportunity to. Unfortunately, I'm not made of money. I can't buy every device. I know some people think I should be able to. Okay, so there we go. The device itself, actually, that's surprisingly light. I mean, I realise the battery's probably not in there at this point. But that is actually feels surprisently light. Let's have a look what's behind. Oh dear, so this one may have had a repair, perhaps. Okay, let's put that aside. Or the usual quick start guide. Do we need a quick start guide? I think we'll probably cope. Then inside the box itself we get the mains plug. That's quite neat. That's sort of low profile for travel, and then just pop that out to plug in. I think that's quite clever, really. Earphones, as you would expect, some different sized earbuds. If you have crazy giant ears like the BFG. What's that hiding in there? Look. I don't actually know what those are for. So that's obviously a tool for removing these pins. What do you use the pins for? Bizarre. Okay, no. Ah, now that's interesting. Look, I do remember someone saying something like that. So there's regular micro USB next to an additional little bit of a port. Plugs in the bottom. I think you can still use a regular. Well, let's check even. It's not actually connected to anything, but that's a regular. Yep, so you can use just a regular cable. But this is a special one, I presume. Might get more amps through when charging, perhaps. Do it the wrong way? I am. And then of course the battery. Wow, that is quite a hefty looking battery, isn't it? So let's pop all those bits and pieces back together and move it aside. Now this is one thing you can't have straight away. It's kind of a faux leather exterior on the back. It's the sort of traditional Samsung, flimsy Samsung. I have no problem with that at all. They do that to keep the weight down, to keep the thinness as thin as possible. Thinness? But yeah, it's quite odd in that proper, very plasticky one side, but a kind of very nice soft touch leathery feel to the other side. We'll have a look around the device though while we're here. So we can't help but notice here, look, the stylus. That's actually reasonable weight to it. Has a button on it. Slides in and out very nicely. We have the camera there at the top, 13 megapixel camera with LED flash. The speaker there at the bottom with what looks to be the mic just alongside it. Bit of protection. The volume rocker, top left. The power on, top right. Is that another hole? Is that another mic? I don't know. The headphone jack at the top there. I think we're about ready to... Oh, that's actually... I thought that'd be see-through and it's just the screen was black, but not. I think we're ready to fire it up and have a look. So there is the SMN9005. This is the European SIM model. I think generally it's a very nice looking device. If I bring in my S4, oh, that was very quick. Yeah, like I say, if I bring in my S4, it's not that drastic a size different really, I wouldn't say. Whereas in fact, if I bring in just briefly my Oppo N1, well, even the N1 even dwarfs the Notes. That's quite surprising actually. Anyway, actually the other thing I'm going to do just while we're comparing, I'm going to bring in my scales just to show you. So the Note 3, 168 grams. Yes. Oh, sorry there. Look at that. Yeah, I've beat up my Androids. The S4, 136. Let's just take the Oppo out of its case. 214. So you can see there's quite a difference. 214 to 168. So the Note 3 obviously has a. Oh, I say obviously I've got to look. I think it's 5.7 inch screen. Yeah, 5.7 inch against the Oppo's 5.9, but that's a pretty huge weight difference between the two at the same time, just for the 0.2 extra screen size. So let's I'll get myself signed in and then we'll have a bit of a play. Okay, so I've logged in to my Wi-Fi, I've logged into my Google account, I've let it do a whole bunch of updates to the software and actually the operating system. And let's take a look. Oh, device. Where's my about phone gone? There it is, about device. So we're now, if you can see that, it's very dark, Android 4.3 Jelly Bean. This particular one is MK2, I think is the important bit there. It literally just ran like a 30 meg update for stability. First thoughts, it's very smooth. I mean, I almost think these days that's a given. You know, I'd be quite worried if I open up a device with almost nothing installed on it and it's jerking from side to side, especially a a £500 device like this. Obviously, it's got all the Samsung bits and pieces on it. Walking Mate, keep track of how many steps you take each day with S Health. Now, a lot of these things, oh, Knox, look, boo, a lot of people, well, I'll let you look up about Knox yourself. It's a security thing for Samsung, but it gets in the way if you want to flash. Well, I'm not sure it gets in the way or if it just grasses you up if you want to flash things. S Note, let's have a look at start. What? I just want to test the stylus really. Oh, we got some instructions. When you press the pen button while hovering your pen over the screen, the air command features will appear. Cool. Draw a window in any size anywhere on the screen. What, you want me to? Is that what you're telling me to? Okay. So you'll see a little icon appears. If I wanted to then press the button, there we go, look. Can I let go of the button or does it vanish? Yeah, I can. Scrapbooker, action memo, screen write, S Finder, pen window. What's pen window? Oh, okay. So basically, I drew the window for it to then drop an app into. Is that what we're saying? Let's have a look again. Yeah, okay, I've got that bit now. Let's do a bigger window. And let's say I want the internet in it. Was that what I drew? Maybe. Yeah, that is kind of cool. I like that. I like that. Let's say we like set later. Thank you. It's all nicely presented. S Pen mode. Only the S Pen can be used to write notes. The only touch interaction available are penning and pinch and zoom. S Pen and finger, both the S Pen and the finger. Now I want to stick with the pen because the thing that I was concerned by when I've used this before, so I'm resting my hand on the screen. This is a test. Now that's better. I forget, what was that? I cannot remember what the last device I had a stylus. It was a year or so back. It might have been a tablet, a Samsung tablet of some kind, and you couldn't put your hand, as soon as your hand touched the screen, it it thought that was the pen effectively. This is much, oh dear, more. See, I can actually see that being of use now. Can I change the pen thickness? Yep. Oh wait. I presume I can. Is that the text colour? No? Yes? Oh. Whatever. No, I didn't want the keyboard, sorry. Oh, see, that's just me selecting back and forth pen and keyboard. How do I change the colour, do we think? I don't know. Never mind. And that seems. That does seem pretty accurate, actually. I can see that being useful. Oh, I'm liking this device already, actually. This is getting dangerous. Right, how do we... Let's close this down for now, anyway. I don't particularly want to save, though. Have I got no choice? Dial me, please. So, that does actually look like it could be very handy. If you're going to a meeting, sometimes, you still feel a bit more comfortable, don't you, writing rather than typing away into your phone. So I think that could be very, very useful. Oh, I'm out. That is my... Yeah, it's very interesting. Okay, so what else? I could do with testing the speaker, really, couldn't I? I'm going to have to install... Have I got music installed? Well, I have, but has it got anything to play? Over the Horizon, look, my favourite. I have no idea what. I would say that sounds pretty good, pretty loud and clear. I will do an actual speaker test very shortly with my decibel meter, so you can get an idea of how it compares to others. I think that's probably it for now. I mean, like I say, most of the stuff is very similar to what you find on other Samsung devices, Chat On and such. Oh, I suppose I should, perhaps you might not have seen, again, it is used on other Samsung devices, but from the side there, this is how we can have, much like you can draw a window with the S Pen. I'm going to bring in maps. Now, why is that gone full screen? I thought the whole point maybe I have to do the first one. Maybe now can I bring in, there we go. So now I've got maps at the top and I've got YouTube at the bottom. I think it could be handy. Anyway, what else? And you can drop in whatever you want basically in that in that bottom half. There you go. So that's the split screen feature, very handy. So I think, should we have a quick look at a YouTube video just so you can see something playing, if we find something. You can skip this and now. I would say that looks and sounds pretty great.
And I saw you crash, which was the lamest crash ever, by the way.
I did just come to a stop, put my foot out in the mud, and then just fall over to one side.
When Luke fell off in the swampy bit, I got really excited. I wanted to go in there, get that GS 1200 out, because I love a bit of mud.
Okie dokie. So, as I said, I'll use this for a little while. My N1 review will be done in the next few days, and then I can crack on with reviewing the Note 3. I will do some comparisons between the Note 3 and the N1 because they are similar in their just, you know, huge big devices. And of course I'll get the actual review done in a week or so of the Note 3. First impressions, really very nice device, very nice. But I'll use it properly as my main device for a little while, and I'll let you guys know. My name's Andy. I'll catch you all again soon.